Oh, now you can really hear me. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. So, my name is Sarah. I am part of the education team here at Cocina. We are thrilled to have you all. We're thrilled to have you all here. It's a beautiful Saturday. I am so excited to have our guests today. If you don't know, Cocina is a nonprofit. We run the Farrier Building Farmers Market here on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The Mission Community Market, which is starting up again in March, on Thursdays, and the Farmers Market at Jack London Square on Sunday. To introduce Charles Farrier, pronounce that right? Farrier, excuse me. Charles Farrier, who is a beloved vendor here at the market. He makes beautiful baked goods, cheesecakes, and I'm really excited to share with you his wisdom, his cookies, and without further ado, I'll let him take it away.
Thank you. How are you guys doing today? So, I have been at Cocina Market for about 3 years. We specialize in artistry cheesecakes. We're known for doing unique and unusual flavors based on seasonal flavors. If you haven't had a chance, stop by our booth today after the class.
And where is your booth?
Our booth is right next to, after they're done with the construction, we're right down by the port. We're right next down to 3 bays, so right next to a big purple canvas.
Excellent, so that way.
Yeah. And make sure you check out all of our flavors, and we have seasonal flavors as well. So.
Excellent. And what are you making today?
Today we're going to be making one of our cookies for our cookie box, which is our red velvet cookies with our cream cheese frosting.
Delightful. All right, tell us how.
So, first you want to start off by weighing out all of your ingredients, all of your meats on cloth. And basically what that means is that you have all of your ingredients on hand, so you're not having to run back and forth in the kitchen while something is cooking. And so what you first want to do is, this is about 1.5 cups of flour. Then you want to take a cup of sugar. And you want to add it to, you want to take your 44 teaspoons of salt, add it to your sugar and your flour, add your baking soda.
And so we're mixing all of our dry ingredients together, right?
Yeah. Then you want to add your 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder. And you can do this ahead of time.
Oh, okay. So if I do this ahead of time, I would mix my dry ingredients together, and then I could maybe keep them in a pantry for a while?
Well, you don't keep them in the pantry for a while. You just want to do it set aside.
I see.
While you start on your wet ingredients. This is a stick and a half of butter. Make sure your butter is soft. At room temperature first.
Oh, yeah, actually.
So you want to make sure your butter is nice and light and fluffy. And this is called the creaming stage. This is called the creaming stage. You want to do this till the butter is nice and soft and it kind of like changes color. And you'll see it kind of happen. It'll happen quite quickly.
So why are we creaming our butter? What does that do?
So you want to cream the butter to really incorporate the sugar, so that like both the sugar and the butter, so they're soft. If you add it while the butter is cold, it's not gonna the creaming method won't work. And also you have the salt, and that's why you want to cream the butter.
Gotcha. And so creaming butter creates a softer cookie, better combines things, better incorporates things.
Yeah, better texture.
Better texture. Nice.
And while this is creamy, it's best to scrape down the sides periodically before you add the sugar. So everything is covered. And as you can see on the screen, the butter is slowly starting to change colors.
Alright, so what are we going for? So it's
We're looking for a light pale color.
Gotcha.
Just to, it kind of takes away from the sides of the bowl slightly.
Gotcha. So we're looking for a light pale color, butter coming away from the sides of the bowl, and and I think we just went up to sort of like medium high speed.
Medium high speed until it all kind of, gets loose. And you don't want it to be, you don't want the butter to be too soft because you don't want it to be melted, or else it won't work.
No melting.
Yeah, no melting. As you can see how the butter kind of changes color?
Can everyone see this in the screen?
It's getting kind of lighter. If not, I'm going to scrape down the sides right now so you guys can see what it's like. I'm going to stop the machine a little bit.
So how did you start baking?
So I started baking at home after culinary school. I started just doing testing of things that I wanted to learn how to make. But actually before then, I worked in the culinary field for about 3.5 years. I worked in high-end restaurants. And then after that, I really wanted to just expand my knowledge and skills of cooking. And within that, I didn't want to just learn how to just cook. I wanted to learn how to do a little bit of everything. And so for me, I wanted to kind of, I'm always willing to try something new. So I'm always wanting to experiment. So I would go home after work and I would experiment and open up a cookbook and just try to make things that I haven't made before. And it's always a good thing to do because, you can try it with your friends and family, whether it comes out good or whether it comes out bad. At least you attempted it. And then you try it again, you're like, okay. And then once you kind of do it more and more, you can kind of change the flavors and kind of experiment with other ingredients that you might kind of try before. And that was one thing that I learned how to do with baking and also with cooking. And so I really encourage that for all of you guys, if you're cooking with your kids, or just cooking with friends and family. Whether you are, wanting to start a business or just kind of like doing it just as a side. Yeah.
So there's a lot of beef in the culinary world between cooks and bakers. Where do you fall on that?
Oh my God. I would say I'm in the middle because I can cook and I can bake, but I would say I'm more of a pastry chef than a cook. I mean, I can do both because I throw a mean Thanksgiving meal. So, I can definitely do both. The reason for that is because you want to have a versatility when you're cooking. You don't want to just kind of do a little bit of everything. Don't have to be perfect, but just have a little bit of variety.
Are there specific skills that you learned from cooking that you took to your baking or vice versa?
Oh, yes. One thing I did learn with cooking, when it comes to cooking and baking, I learned how to be better with time management, organization, also with being consistent. One thing that people don't realize, people think baking and cooking are totally the same thing. They're totally different. And they like to compare the two. And, with cooking, everything can be made within the same day. The baking takes a little bit more time, it has a little more essence, you have to kind of caress it a little bit. And it's all about the care and how you treat the products. And so within that, I feel like baking has a little bit more higher respect. Than cooking, you have a little bit more flexibility. With baking, you don't really have that much flexibility when it comes to making things. You have to really pay attention to what you're making and really understand what's happening at the time. Because you miss an ingredient or you miss a step, that can throw off the whole recipe. once it goes in the oven, you know, just don't serve it to your guests. Or you can always remix it and turn it into something else. You know, that's always if you are very, so like for example, you know, you have cookies and you forgot to add the leavening agent. Just crumble them up and add them as a top, you know, and a parfait or something.
A lot of things make a great ice cream mix-in.
Right. You know.
Question?
Is it possible to overbeat the butter? And if so, how would you know?
So you can over, well you really, well slightly but not really. I mean it depends on the weather. So if you have really warm weather, it can start to lose its structure where it just becomes like really wet and really just kind of melts. Right now, the butter is still kind of cool, so you can kind of see. It still kind of holds on the spatula, and that's what you really want. If it kind of droops down, you know, then you kind of overmix the butter a little bit.
Not true for cream though, right?
No, not true. So like dairy cream, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, it's just another topic. Dairy cream, if you actually making whipped cream and you keep continuing to whip it, you will turn it into butter.
Especially if it's warm.
Yes.
2 seconds.
So now that the butter is heavily salted, we're gonna add our sugar. You can add it all at once, or you can add it slowly. I recommend adding it slowly so it really gets a chance to incorporate in the butter.
And if you watch a lot of Bake Off, this is called the creaming method. Right?
Yes. It's called creaming.
So you went to culinary school, you worked in some restaurants, you decided to start a bakery. What was that process like of deciding to strike out on your own, start this bakery, all of these recipes?
That was a challenge. The reason for that is because when I first started cooking, or when I first started baking, you know, I worked at a law firm for 7 years and don't really know much about my background. And you know, you can actually pick it up in our cookbook. We're actually part of Cocina, and they explain my whole story. But I worked at a law firm for about 7 years, and in between that, I had a really good friend who kind of helped me kind of like work out the logistics of starting my business. Sorry about that. I was actually in the office one day, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, you should bring in a dessert." So I brought a dessert. So that I brought in was a cheesecake, and everyone was floored, and everyone loved it. And they were like, "Oh, you should start a business." And I was like, "Well, no, not really. I wasn't really planning on that." And so in the process of that, a lot of the attorneys and the paralegals was like, "You should really think about it." And so I got approached by Whole Foods about wanting to put my product in the stores. And at that time, I didn't really want to do it because I didn't really want to deal with the stores, and I really wasn't going to at that time. So after that, I wanted to really, if I took it seriously, when I started to take it seriously, I told myself, I said, well, I really want to come up with ideas that make me stand out compared to everyone else that are in the industry. So that's when we came up with our signature flavor, which is our beet. And that's the one that we do have that today. So that's one of our best selling ones today. And we wanted something, I like to kind of do more fruit and veggie together. So more of an interesting combination. But once you try, you know, you have questions. It's called beet and berry.
Beet and berry. Incorporating those farmers market veggies. I love that.
And so after that, you know, I started doing more exotic flavors, and then kind of venturing off from there. And then, you know, a couple of years, 7 years later, you know, moving on.
So, how did you land on beet and berry? What's the process been like of working with those market vegetables or fruits?
So when I came home, I decided to come up with a signature flavor. You know, everyone thought I was crazy. They were like, well, we really don't think that you should put beets in cheesecake. You know, But what people don't realize that beets was actually an actual original sugar that they started using for the sugar cane. And the reason why I started wanted to use beet, I wanted a signature flavor, like I said before, but I also wanted freshness. I wanted to have a beet earthiness flavor that you get from beets, and you also get the nutritional value.
Butter and sugar.
So we put in the butter and sugar. Now we want to add our egg.
Alright, we've got a beautiful one-handed egg crack.
Yes.
And then when we add that egg, what are you looking for?
You want the egg, so the egg does two things. So it holds the cookie together, but it also adds richness. So you really, really want to add, the egg to the cookie. And it also adds softness. So the egg does, it does a wonderful thing to the actual cookie itself and to mostly all the cookies. So in the process, you guys see it's kind of sticking to the bowl. So we're going to take this and kind of scrape it off.
It's pretty chilly out here today, so cookie batter making is a little bit more complicated. So butter is not staying super soft, but we're doing our best. Yeah, question. Where do you get the original cheesecake recipe?
So my original cheesecake recipe, I actually kind of developed, I took a recipe that I knew of, and I kind of tweaked it to make it my own, because our cakes are all made with a shorter input crust. So we decided not to go with the traditional incubator, because we wanted something that would hold up and has a little more structure. And with our cookie, it stays crispy throughout the whole process of eating it, and it holds crispy, it stays that way up to 5 days.
And where can you find that recipe if you wanted to make it at home?
So that recipe is actually in our cookbook,
Excellent.
in our Cocina cookbook. You can actually order it on Amazon.
So it is in the Cocina cookbook, which you can order on Amazon.
So as you can see on your screen, see how the egg is starting to incorporate? You want to slow it down. And at this point, you want to slowly start adding the dry ingredients. And you don't want to dump them in all at once because you're going to have a flour bomb in front of you.
That's how we make messes.
I try to be very thorough when I'm cooking or baking, so that way you kind of know what you're doing and you don't kind of rush.
So you've had Crumble Whisk, which is the name of this cheesecake company, in case you weren't aware, for a long time. Have you seen the market change at all? Have you adapted your products in any way?
I haven't really adapted too much, but with everyone opening up a lot of farmers markets everywhere, you have to stay competitive with the industry, and you have to always kind of keep it changing up. Because if you stay stale, then people are kind of like, oh, well, we see the same thing. So that's why we kind of add and always change up everything every month. And we started adding gluten and dairy-free items as well. Last year we did, but we didn't add it as much. Now we added everything to change the flavor every year. We started adding seasonings.
Alright.
We will be adding more items throughout the year, but we're trying to slowly introduce them so the audience doesn't get bombarded with all these items. So as you can see, that the flour is incorporated here. So you want to slowly add a little bit more.
I think we had a question for that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so there was a question about food coloring. So today, we are not actually using any food coloring because our trusty Quesa staff, mostly me, couldn't find any at the market or inside. But what kind of food coloring do you normally use for these beautiful red velvet?
You can red food coloring. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can kind of make them, you know, whatever food coloring you have on hand. So you can do velvet, purple, orange, blue. You know. But today we're doing the traditional red, but we don't have a red dye. We use the liquid. The gel is a little bit more hard to find. We do prefer the gel, but the liquid one right now is really useful. You can use palm sugar or cane sugar. We do substitute sugars with our bakers all the time.
If I were to bake this,
You would use the same measurement.
Same measurement, palm or cane sugar.
As you can see how it's getting. You see how the butter and the sugar and the flour is getting really fluffy.
oh yeah.
You guys see that? We're gonna scrape this off the side, and we're gonna incorporate some more flour.
So what advice do you have for home bakers? Just in general, or specifically about
Home baking, I would recommend if you are trying a recipe for the first time, I definitely recommend reading the recipe clearly so that way you can understand what you're capable of, and also making sure you read it twice. I always read the recipe twice to kind of go over in my mind what to do. And then I start gathering all of my ingredients before I start. Because you don't want to be, like I said, running around.
read those recipes, gather those ingredients. So the measure twice, not once philosophy.
And always have everything measured out prior before you start. That makes your job so much easier. And then I will say clean as you go. I'm all about making sure so after you're done, you don't have to be trying to clean up what's remaining. You don't want your kitchen to be looking like a disaster.
Yeah, clean as you go.
It's a very good method.
What you look for.
And you know, just have fun in the kitchen. It's also about being, you know, experimenting and trying to like, kind of like getting into your groove.
Do you have any cheesecake specific advice? I know that can be really intimidating, especially for home bakers. Chilling and temperature and things like that that need to be paid attention to.
So, whenever you're making a cheesecake, you really want to make sure that you're getting it on your temperature.
On a what temperature?
Low temperature.
Low temperature, sorry.
Low temperature. One thing that people are unfamiliar with when it comes to cheesecake is that they think that it's a one-day process. It actually is not a one-day process. It actually can take up to 2 days to kind of get everything, not just to bake it, but to fully chill it. And so, you know, you want to kind of let it sit for 24 hours.
And for those cheesecakes, do you bake those in a bain-marie?
We don't bake them in a bain-marie.
Okay.
We bake them actually straight on a sheet tray.
All right.
But we bake them on a low temperature, about 200 degrees.
Got it. So a lot of the time, when you make cheesecake, you're instructed to put it in a water bath or a bain-marie. But Charles is saying that you guys don't do that. 200 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it if you are baking like one, but we're baking like several.
Would you recommend doing that at home or no?
I don't.
Great. You're the pro. I trust you.
So as you can see,
Yeah, go for it. That's it.
Modern temperature, how many hours?
Great question.
about an hour and a half. So as you can see, the dough's kind of coming together. And so now,
disher, and on our recipe it says a number 24 disher, and what does that mean?
The 24 scoop is a really good cookie scoop because the cookie scoop is not too big of a cookie. It's a nice medium-sized cookie. You can go bigger if you choose to, depending on the parties that you're serving.
And that number is just how these things are.
Yeah. So the way it works with any kind of scoop, the bigger the number, the smaller the scoop.
If you type it into Amazon or go into Sur La Table or something and ask for a number 24 disher, they'll know what that means. But
Yeah.
you can probably extrapolate from here what exactly, what size of cookie that'll be.
So we really want to cook. You want to scoop them apart from each other because you don't want the cookies to touch. Because when they start to bake, they'll spread. And you don't want them to kind of like run into each other. And the reason for that is because you want them to all look uniform and all look the same size.
Maybe we'll have you finish that tray and we can movie magic a clean bowl for you, and
Yeah, we'll make
we
the
can
frosting.
mix frosting.
So while she's getting the clean bowl, do you guys have any questions?
On
Yes.
your instructions, I'm not much of a baker, but you said to rotate after 6 to 8 minutes and all this. So what do you mean by rotate? Rotate the pan?
Oh yeah, rotate the pan.
What do you mean rotate it? What 180 degrees?
Yeah, so rotate it from, if you put it in, so rotate it from back to front. So just turning the pan in the opposite direction when you take it out, just rotating it.
What if you have a convection oven?
Oh, if you have a convection oven, you should be fine. You shouldn't have to rotate it, but depending on your convection oven, I would definitely rotate it because we do rotate our cookies. Yeah.
Can you give a quick explanation about what a convection oven is and what it does and what hot spots are in a regular oven, etc.?
So a convection oven basically has an oven that's designed with a fan in it. And the reason why the fan is helps your baking or roasting process cook a little bit more evenly. So the heat will disperse a lot more evenly when you're baking, so you don't have hot spots in your oven. And the reason why sometimes you have hot spots is because the oven is not normally calibrated properly.
So if you had a convection oven, does that tend to cook hotter or cooler than a regular oven? How would you adjust temperature for that?
So when you are baking from a home oven to a convection oven, most professional convection ovens run hotter than your traditional home oven. So I would definitely drop down the temperature just slightly.
Yeah, make sure to keep an eye on
You know,
things.
What about changing shelf? You have
I always bake in the middle. So that
that
way,
says it bake in the middle.
huh?
Circle and then bake in the middle. There's only
Yeah.
one level.
So the way I do it, I bake if I'm using multiple ovens, because like most kitchens, we have a double stacked oven, one on the top and one on the bottom. I never use the top ovens because the ovens that are lower to the ground, the bottom rack is always hotter because the temperature rises. But what the home ovens are a little bit more controlled, so you have a lot more even heat. So you won't have to worry about any kind of burning. And it also depends on your oven. Yes.
You're working yesterday, it seems like it would evaporate stuff off the surface or make it more crisp.
Well, it does cook it a lot faster, but that's why you lower the temperature down just slightly, just so you can kind of watch it. So the reason for that is because you don't want it to be too brown. Most cookies, so the rule of thumb is even though the recipe will say 10 to 12 minutes. I always take it out slightly before then because you still want your cookie to be soft. And the reason for that is because most cookies will still continue to cook on the tray after you take it out the oven because the pan is hot. And then also, if you really want the cookies to stop cooking, take the parchment paper and then slide it off the tray onto a board. And that way you will fully get bring it down to a nice temperature, and you still have a nice brown, soft cookie.
All right, so we have about 5 minutes left. We can quickly make some beautiful cream cheese frosting.
So.
That's cream cheese. It's not super room temp, so
that's fine.
Some within.
So you want to it soft? Well, it's pretty much soft.
But we're working some air into it once again, like we did with the butter. Do you have any recipes from your youth or from growing up that you incorporate?
For me, growing up, I mean, my father would always, from the country, so he would always cook very interesting meals. Some of them where we didn't know what we were eating. Some of them were like, okay, well, what is this today? He would always cook something in like a stew-like method. So it's always something being stewed or always something being braised to kind of help with the gaminess, because he would always use some type of like, chicken or rabbit. Sometimes he would go and try to find possum or squirrel. And he would always kind of like cut it up and like feed it to us. So it was always very interesting in our household. So we added sour cream to the cream cheese. Now we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. And as you can see, that's getting all nice and creamy. And then you want to slowly add powdered sugar. Or what we call confection sugar.
Yeah. Mine doesn't.
You can add a little bit at a time.
What is the unique characteristics of vanilla and why is it so commonly used in baking?
Yeah, I didn't find
Is it the flavor or is it the grinding thing?
That is a big
So
question.
vanilla acts as it enhances the flavor of what you're bringing up, and it also it does add flavor to it. So most bakers, you want flavor notes when you're baking, so not just a one note product. And also, like I said, the vanilla also brings it out. So some recipes will say add a little bit of vanilla, add a little bit, depending on what you're making.
Another question over here. How would you adjust your recipe to make it gluten-free?
And making gluten-free, we have not tried it gluten-free, so I would say experiment with your favorite gluten-free flour, and then kind of see what kind of works. I think you'll still get a really good product because the egg is in there, so the egg acts as a binder and it acts as a softness.
Bob's Red Mill has a really good gluten-free baking mix. That's a good place to start.
And you can see how the cream, the frosting kind of comes together. And we're adding the rest of the powdered sugar. And you're going to kind of like put it on high so it kind of really incorporates it.
Do we have any final questions?
Don't be afraid. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to Jen for her birthday. If she's out there. Not yet? Oh, we're not here yet. Oh.
She went to go get something. It was Jen's birthday.
Now you guys can see. You guys see?
Looks like that.
Nice.
And also you can add one variation of this recipe that we do. We add orange zest and we add a little bit of orange liqueur. You kind of give that flavor component, another flavor component that you were asking.
Excellent. And we will be bringing out some samples of these cookies shortly, and they will be red. We're going to be pouring in them.
This is a non-baking, I like your breakfast.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent.
You said it's a non-baking cookie?
No, it was a non-baking.
Oh.
Excellent. Well, as we're passing out samples, I just want to give a big thank you to Charles for being here. Please go visit his farmers market stand. It is around the corner. Once again, Cocina is a nonprofit. We accept donations, volunteers, lots of love. Please come visit us
Thank you guys.
here on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. And once again, let's give everyone